In the early 18th century, the royal court in Jaipur was known for deep devotion, but that quiet religious life hit a sudden, jarring halt. By royal decree, the Bengali Gaudiya Vaishnava priests, who had managed the temple worship for years, were abruptly suspended from their daily duties. The king was forced to order the physical removal of the Srimati Radharani deity from the main worship room. She was separated from Govinda Gobinatha, leaving an unthinkable absence on the altar. A sudden political challenge had swept through the court, and it threatened to permanently erase an entire tradition's right to exist in the kingdom. The instigators were members of the rival Shri faction. They brought a formal challenge before the king, pointing to a strict rule of scriptural law. To be recognized as an authorized spiritual lineage, a tradition had to possess its own direct, written commentary on the Vedanta-sutra, the core philosophical text of the era. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas simply did not have one. To make matters worse, the head of the Gaudiya lineage in Vrindavana, Vishvanatha Chakravarti Thakura, was far too elderly to make the arduous journey to Jaipur to defend them. Without a recognized text, and without their leader to speak for them, the tradition faced an existential threat. The very evidence required for their legitimacy was missing. In his place, the aging leader sent his star student, Baladeva Vidyabhushana. Baladeva possessed an absolute mastery over Sanskrit grammar and logic, combined with a total lack of desire for personal fame. Baladeva stepped into the grand assembly held at Golta. He stood alone against the gathered Ramanaldi scholars. He launched into a forceful, deeply reasoned defense. He argued that the founder of their tradition, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, had accepted the Srimad Bhagavata as the natural, perfect commentary on the Vedanta-sutra, making a separate text unnecessary. But the rival scholars flatly refused his logic. They demanded a literal, direct, point-by-point commentary on the sutras, or nothing at all. Brilliant rhetoric was no longer enough. The debate hit a hard impasse, and the only way out was to produce a brand new physical manuscript. Backed into a corner with no other recourse, Baladeva made an impossible promise to the assembly. He would write and present them with a direct commentary himself. A moment of quiet reflection, he retreated to the Govindaji temple. Feeling deeply aggrieved and aware that his intellect alone couldn't manifest such a massive philosophical work on demand, he offered prostrated obeisances and explained everything to the deity. That night, according to the tradition, the Lord appeared to Baladeva in a dream. The deity instructed him to write, promising to dictate the commentary directly, ensuring no scholar would be able to refuse it. Enlivened by the vision, Baladeva poured his renewed strength onto the page. Working at a feverish pace over the next few days, he completed the monumental text, naming it the Sri Govinda Bhasya. In a matter of days, the uncompromising rigor of a master logician met profound spiritual inspiration, forging the exact weapon needed to defend his faith. Carrying the completed manuscript, Baladeva returned to the assembly of Ramanandi scholars. As they read the profound arguments and masterful logic of the Govinda Bhasya, the rival scholars were left entirely speechless. The king immediately announced the victory of the Gaudiya tradition far and wide. He decreed that the deity of Sri Govinda would have its worship performed first in Jaipur before any other temple. A single, rapidly produced document had provided the specific legal anchor the lineage lacked, restoring their temple rights and securing their standing in Jaipur for generations. After conceding defeat, the Ramanandi scholars actually approached Baladeva, asking to accept initiation from him as his disciples, but he respectfully declined. He explained that their Shri tradition was highly respectable, anchored in the practice of Dasya Bhakti, or devotion in servitorship. He refused to initiate them, knowing it might cause them humiliation and diminish the dignity of their own lineage. Baladeva returned to Vrindavana, bearing the certificate of victory. The scholars bestowed upon him the title Vidyabhushana, and he eventually rose to become the next acharya of the Gaudiya lineage, compiling a massive library of philosophical literature. To defend a set of beliefs against total erasure requires a rare balance. It demands the unyielding intellectual rigor to win a debate, driven by a heart humble enough to walk away from the glory.